Live from Soho, New York City, it's Wearable Electronics with a published author.
Yo, did you, I'm sorry, is there something on my face? Welcome to the show. It's February 25th. We're live in downtown chilly Manhattan at the Adafruit factory. With me is Phil, Mr. Lady Ada himself.
Hello.
What's on today's show, Phil?
Well, I'm glad you asked. On today's show, we have Wearable Wednesday.
We're going to show you this bow tie project. It's going to be good. You're going to like it.
Component of the week.
It's a screen, a little screen that you can make wearables out of.
Little tiny cute screen. Project workshop.
We're going to take a project idea you have and workshop it. So like tell you what to do, kind of give you some advice, some mentoring on your project.
And questions and answers. You got questions, Becky has answers.
If you have any wearable electronics questions now or in the future, you can ask them in the comments of this video, on the Google Plus page, on the Adafruit blog, or on Twitter. Those are the main places we check.
That's right.
And I'll cue them up for a future show and make you eligible to win the show's giveaway. Today's giveaway is a Flora. Next week's giveaway will be a Flora book. So if you want the Flora book, ask your wearable electronics questions.
Okay. All right. All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. Okay. Let's do this thing. First up, we've got to pay some bills.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to get some wearable gear,
yeah.
you can use code BOWTIE. I'm sure you already know why the code is BOWTIE today. You can get 10% off your whole order except gift certificates and software.
Okay.
Till midnight.
All right. Wearable Wednesday, and the biggest news so far this year, I think.
It's only February. Is the Getting Started with It for Flora book from Make. Yay! It's here. I touched it.
This is good.
This is the first copy of it that I touched.
This came in yesterday, and we started taking photos, and I was ready as soon as I saw you today.
It's real.
I said, your book's here.
And you handed it to me. And
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
So this is...
Actually, Andrew, the photographer, handed it to me, but he took this photo. So.
Yeah. And it's real. It's yours. I'll tell you a fun story.
We have a couple in the store. If you go right now, you
there?
can get, there's like 6 left.
I'll tell you a fun story, because I've been around Lemoore for a while.
Yeah.
So until she had her stuff in an art gallery, no one would call her an artist.
Right.
Oh, you're not an artist.
Right. Oh,
Right.
yeah, you're not
Yeah.
an artist.
Right. Okay, until she got an engineering award, she wasn't. No one would say, "Oh, you're not really an engineer. You're like a business person." So then, she got some like
Right,
embedded.
because degrees in computer science, right? Like.
And no, EE.
Oh, yeah, well,
she's
then
an
I
EE.
think if you have a degree in something, then you. But whatever.
Not good enough for internet dude.
I know, right? Oh yeah. Oh, that guy. I forgot about that guy.
And then
don't be that guy.
The other one was, you're just an engineer. You're not really a business person. Entrepreneur of the year she got.
Yeah.
So this is one of the coolest things I think as a person. When you write a book, you are a published author. You're an author.
Yeah.
You're not,
nobody does.
not-
It doesn't matter how many blog posts I made. I have made thousands of blog posts.
Yeah.
How many?
I did a state of the Adafruit blog post that had how many blog posts that we have on Adafruit.
Yeah.
How many I have on Adafruit. How many I had on Make.
Oh, you have tens of thousands on Make.
25% of the posts on Make are still mine.
Yeah.
And then Hackaday, and then Engadget, and then How-Tunes, and then a few others. So those
Well,
things,
so many.
Those things are interesting, but I'll tell you what, I'm still very proud of when I wrote books, and I know what it feels like to go into a bookstore and walk down the aisle, and you say, "That's something I worked on." So congratulations, Becky. I know you worked on this,
Thanks.
and Tyler worked on this. And I kind of feel like this is a culmination of all of our efforts together.
It is. We worked on it together. It's got color photos inside. You might recognize a couple of the projects. They're tried and true, tested projects. We talk about the merits of doing paper books a lot, and having worked both of us for Make and O'Reilly, which is a publishing company, talking about online publishing versus print publishing. And I like the internet a lot because you can change things, you can have high-res photos, you can have video, which is one of my favorite mediums. But for absolute beginners, especially to receive as a gift, I can see how a book is very useful. So we have an upcoming pack to go with the Getting Started with Flora book that lets you do some of the projects in the book, and the first two projects in the book, and that'll be on the site soon as well. And that makes a great gift because we like to reduce the amount of tree paper waste by only including an invoice in your order, and you get just all the parts. And so when you order any of our Getting Started packs, they just come as all the parts and your invoice, which has links to the tutorials you find. But if you give it as a gift, I find that the barrier to entry for I find the tutorials online. If you've never heard of any of this stuff, I think the book is a really good way to physically, tangibly get into it. And it's been so long for me since I've been in that position that I I've been in the mentality of, I can just learn how to do anything on YouTube for a long time, but a lot of people still need some help. And
I'll say this for workshops too. Books tend to work out a little bit better sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own copy to reference. You can make notes in it if you want. Like, you can give it as an assignment to students. I know that, like, I've taught this class at SVA a couple years in a row now, and, like, it went better when we used the ArtX booklet, and I was like, do exercise 5 in your booklet instead of like follow this tutorial online. And they're grad students, they're motivated, and they still like wouldn't do it unless it was like a paper thing in front of them. So I think it has merits, especially for ultra beginners, which is who the book is written for. It gets you up to speed. It has some advanced stuff in it too, though, and I like it. Tyler and I worked really hard on it. I hope that you like it too. So pick up your copy. If we're out on Adafruit, you can sign up for to be notified when we get more in stock, which should be soon.
Yeah, here's the deal. You can also get it from O'Reilly and Amazon.
I ordered a copy from my parents on Amazon because I wanted the experience of buying my own book, and I'm sure that wouldn't be happening through the Adafruit store. So I bought my book on Amazon. I paid for it with points. Had it shipped to my parents' house.
Okay, that's cool.
Which was a fun thing for me to do.
All right. Well, we'll be doing some book promotions and more all through the month of forever.
You can assume that the next several weeks are going to be the giveaway months. The giveaway is going to be the floor of books. So if you want to get your hands on a copy, but you're not in a rush, you can ask your Wearables questions and, have your luck at winning the giveaway.
Okay. More good news. This is a good news show.
Yeah, we did some spring cleaning, so we're tidying up categories on the learning system, and lots of stuff was all over the place in the Flora and Gemma and 3D printing categories, so we made a new Wearables category, which we'd been meaning to do for a while. Yeah. Now all the Wearables tutorials can be found at the Wearables category. There's over 100 of them, and it includes like simple LED battery circuits like the one we're going to look at today with the Bowtie project, all the way up to really complicated stuff and 3D printing, all in one place under the Wearables category.
Yeah. I looked. This is the most concentrated collection of wearable tutorials.
Yeah, aside from maybe Instructables, which has like a little bit of a higher like noise to signal ratio.
Yeah, like some of the wearable projects I would say are a little different than the start to finish ones that we have.
Right, they're very complete. And
that said, Instructables has some amazing content, including just a little shout out. They have a section for the Ember, which Noah and Pedro have been working on. So if you want to see some really cool 3D prints, check out that on Instructables.
Cool. I mean, it's a crowd platform, so there's like new Wearables tutorials every single day.
Yeah, we curate, and it has to be approved, and like a lot of things have to be.
Most of these are by me. The second most populous author is Noah and Pedro with their 3D printing wearables, and then Leslie's got a couple in there too. So
speaking of,
check it out. Speaking of new Leslie tutorials, check out the really awesome Cameo OLED necklace guide that she made. Really cool. It's the same circuit pretty much as the Toasters pendant, Flying Toasters, if you remember that, but with a more Victorian silhouette bent. It's really cool because the ribbon forms the battery holder for the long, skinny 100 milliamp hour LiPo battery, and she found this cool charm, and she just popped out the center and replaced it with the OLED screen, make it really subtle, nice. It changes the image, it animates different silhouettes and a heart. So it's really cute and subtle, and would be a really nice gift if you're looking to make something.
Heirloom electronics.
Yeah, heirloom electronics. We have some more. We have a picture of the back. It's got a Pro Trinket and the OLED display.
I'd wear it like that on the front. I'd just be like, this is my thing. This is my style. Look at me rocking it out. Okay.
If you want a silhouette Cameo necklace.
All right.
That changes with
Speaking
custom.
Of rocking out the styles.
Yeah, we also have a small neckwear project today. The video debut is the bow tie. Why don't we take it away, Video Becky?
All right, Video Becky.
In today's project, we're building a glow tie using Adafruit LED sequins, conductive thread, and a coin cell battery holder. You can get all the parts for this easy sewing project at the Adafruit website and find the step-by-step instructions at the link in the description. The sequins rest in the dimples of a pre-tied bow tie, and they're wired in parallel to the coin cell battery holder. This one has a switch for easily toggling the lights. Let's do the math to figure out how long the batteries will last. Each sequin draws about 5 milliamps. The battery has a capacity of 225 milliamp hours. So 2 sequins draw 10 milliamps, and 225 divided by 10 is 22.5 hours. Likewise, 4 sequins would last about 11 hours on a single battery. Carefully make shallow stitches that won't show on the front of the bow tie. And seal your knots with clear nail polish before snipping the tails short. For more tips on working with conductive thread, we've got you covered with a guide on the Adafruit learning system. I can't wait to see your LED sequin formal wear on an upcoming episode of the Show and Tell Hangout on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
Watch me pull a flora out of my hat.
My magician uncle would be so embarrassed.
Really? You have a magician uncle?
I do have a magician uncle.
That's cool. Is he still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
He does like weddings, and he also DJs
cool.
like parties and stuff.
Can we do some type of wearable thing with them where it's like
a bow tie that lights up? Yes,
yeah.
we did the project this week.
Yeah.
So.
No, I
did
mean,
you read the notes for today's show?
I did. No, I mean, magicians, it's all about the props. There's probably some innovation to be had.
We did have a question, I remember a couple months ago, about a guy who was making juggling balls for his juggling magic act that he wanted advice about lighting up when he juggled them. So
okay.
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right, so this is Circuit.
He is an engineer, my uncle, not an electrical one.
Engineer and a magician.
Structural engineer, yeah.
Wow, so he'll make a bridge not disappear.
He makes concrete forms for bridges and stuff. Yeah, he'll make a bridge not fall down. Yeah, stand up.
Ta-da! You're not in the ditch. Okay, I'm here all week. Okay.
Here's the circuit diagram. So it's really simple. The LEDs are just wired in parallel. But here's how I sewed them into the tie. You can see where.
Okay.
And he uses the sequins. Really good beginner project. If you're one of those people who likes to watch the show but you've never actually sewn anything before, this is a good project for you to try.
Okay.
It's very little sewing. It's really quick and fun and satisfying, and you can make a whole bunch of them if you wanted to get do it with your kids, and then all have you're all going to go to a wedding and you all have LED bow ties. If you want to make them for your groomsmen for your wedding, it'd be a fun workshop project to do. It doesn't take very long.
All right.
So ultra beginner. It's kind of similar to our candle flicker hair bow that's made with the LED sewing kit, but with Adafruit prepped components. So sewable LEDs instead of through-hole LEDs, the switched battery board instead of a coin cell holder by itself. So, same circuit, new parts.
Okay.
Upgrade.
Okay, next up, component of the week.
This is where we have an Adafruit component and we tell you why it's cool.
Look at this cute little screen.
It's so cute. Oh.
Cute little screen.
This is the monochrome second to tiniest OLED display. Officially what it's called. Second to tiniest. And it's 1.3 inch, 120 by 64. I can't remember any numbers. Yeah. And it's the one that Leslie used in her Cameo project. So if you're looking to make a necklace or name badge and you want a tiny little screen, this is a good one to use. You can use it, you can see on the product page that there's a couple projects. There's the toasters, there's the Cameo, there's the OLED Tron clock, and then there's tutorials for using it with your Raspberry Pi and your BeagleBone too, in case you want to do that.
Okay.
There is also a tutorial on the learning system. The next slide is for this and the other monochrome OLED breakout boards, so you can kind of shop and see which screen is best for your project.
Yeah.
Maybe we like this one.
Maybe you want a little of this. Maybe you want a little of that. It's up to you. A little of this. A little of that.
It's good. The monochrome OLEDs are good because they're kind of low power. They're really high contrast, so you can see them outside, not the best, but you can still, they're the best screens you can see outside that we carry. Use it in your project and then show it to us.
Don't pay full price, whatever you do. Don't do it. Don't pay full price. Bow tie is the code. All right.
You don't have to be making a bow tie to get 10% off your order.
So this is one of our new segments, Project Workshop.
It's where we workshop your project. We have a project idea, and then I talk to you about it. Phil, what's today's project workshop
This is from Reed Gamefly, and it says, "Hi, Becky and Mr. Adafruit. I'm making my Halloween costume early this year. I want to make an octopus hand exoskeleton that would be made of 3 microcontrollers. The first microcontroller would be for the right hand. It would take analog readings from my right hand and send the data to the second one. The second one would receive the data and save it, plus take data from my left hand and then send all the data gathered to a third microcontroller that would get the data and control everything in the exoskeleton. What would be the cheapest, the most compact, and the best way to communicate between the microcontrollers?" This is cool. He's making an Ed Wood movie or something like that.
Well, I want to give you props right away on doing your Halloween project early.
It's never too early to start doing a Halloween project.
Never, because what's it going to do? It's going to collect a little dust, and you're going to have to dust it off. No, you're going to perfect it.
You can
it's
wear it
going to
every
be awesome.
weekend. It's totally okay.
Yeah.
Totally acceptable now in 2015 to do Halloween every weekend.
So that's great. And anybody who is asking questions later, take note, because you asked me questions too last minute. I'm going to be gee, I wish you had asked me that question 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So let's
I'm a
workshop
little confused about, let's workshop it. I'm a little confused about your end goal. I don't know, you're talking about analog inputs and then some kinds of outputs, and I don't know what those are, but I'm going to assume that you're using some kind of analog sensor, like a proximity sensor or like a force feedback servo or something with an analog signal.
Something to drive an octopus.
In your hand. Octopus hand exoskeleton. I can only imagine what that is. If you would like me to workshop your project, feel free to include a sketch.
That would be...
right? But here's what I'm thinking. The easiest way to communicate between microcontrollers that's cheap and reliable is with wires and serial communication. So you know how you learned, well, first of all, there's a guide on the learning system for using analog inputs. In case you didn't already know that was there, you can check that out in the Arduino lessons. Then I want you to think about the way the serial monitor works. So the way you debug Arduino code from sensors is you hook it up to your serial monitor on your computer. You set it to go, and you can see the numbers, the values changing from the analog sensor. It's using a serial communication protocol. You can use that same protocol to send a message to another Arduino board and catch it, and then process that data. Yeah. Here's my thought, though. Instead, like sending a serial message to another microcontroller, the microcontroller still has to stop and listen for a message. It might as well just be reading the sensor. Yeah. So I think you could probably do your project with one microcontroller and just have long wires that go to your sensors. And instead of checking for a serial message, just check all your sensors. If you have, I'm hoping that you don't have more than 4 or 5 analog sensors that you're trying to read. But if you do, and you max out the inputs on the Arduino, you could use a multiplexer, which is a separate chip, to multiplex your inputs instead of using 2 microcontrollers. Or you could upgrade to like an Arduino Mega. I wouldn't recommend doing that. The board I want you to use is the Pro Trinket because it's hardware, the same chip as the Arduino Uno, so you can do your prototyping on your Arduino Uno and then sort of smallerize your circuit to the, we've used the word 3 times in a...
I have a bell, but I didn't bring it over this time.
That's the word we've been using it.
Bing.
You can smallerize your project by using the Pro Trinket, or you can I recommend like picking up a couple of Pro Trinkets, soldering headers on one of them, or 2 of them, putting them in breadboards, breadboard your circuit with solderless breadboard to make sure it works, then use a new Pro Trinket with no headers on it and just replicate your circuit with just wires and solder it all together. Mm-hmm. You have the time, so you might as well do that. And if you're talking about using multiple microcontrollers anyway, you can play around with communicating between them over serial and just using one for the sensors and see what works best for you. If you want to write in with more information about what parts you're thinking of using, I can workshop your project further.
Okay.
And the cheapest way and the most compact way to communicate between stuff is wire, and I recommend this 26 gauge silicone wire in the store because it's super flexible for costumes and stuff. Comes in lots of colors to match your outfit, and you just run it like down your sleeve or wherever to your battery pack, and you can stitch it in place with regular thread. It's very flexible.
I like what you're saying, but I don't want to pay full price. I like what you're saying.
You can get 10%.
I don't want to pay full price.
You can get 10% off. The code today is bowtie.
Do not want to pay full price.
I know it says Flora and Wearables, but the cat's out of the bag about it being actually everything except like software and gift certificates. So I think I'm going to change the slide.
There is no evidence. The cat did not. There's issues with the cat in the bag. Okay, MOSFET he's totally fine.
Okay, good. Oh, don't put MOSFET in a bag.
He likes to be put in like one of the scarves that you can put like hands through.
Oh,
and he likes to kind of
then
he looks like a sandworm, and his eyes are just sitting there.
That's cute.
And he just kind of sits there. But there's no evidence that he's been put in a bag at all.
I'm sorry, I meant completely figuratively.
Okay.
The cat about the discount code being out of the bag.
Oh, right.
No cats were harmed in the making of this week's discount code?
No, none at all.
My cat hates being in bags.
Yeah, something happened to MOSFET before Lady Ada got him. I think he was put in like a garbage bag and tossed and like did something because any garbage bag sound, he's just like, I'm out of here. So I think something happened to him.
Wow.
He's slowly, finally like, hey, he's like 14 years old.
They are loud, but like my cat likes to lay on garbage bags.
No, he doesn't.
Or plastic bags.
Yeah.
She thinks that's
so like after 14 years, he's like, I'm pretty sure they're okay.
Pretty sure you're not going to put me in that bag.
I don't think I'm food.
How about the vacuum? My cat still can't handle the vacuum.
Yeah, we don't have a vacuum. We just sweep. So no vacuum. All right, question and answers.
If you have any wearables questions, ask them in the comments now, ask them in the comments later, put them on the Google Plus event, and I will put you in my drones hat. I'll put a slip of paper with your name on it in the drones hat, and you could win a Flora. Or next week, you could win a Flora book.
Are you going to sign the book before someone wins it?
Probably. Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Look, someone's gonna ask. So
Look what Phil just did.
No,
I'm
said,
not gonna.
Haha, you're not gonna get a signed book. No, you are gonna get a signed book.
I wouldn't have been able to guarantee that you could get a sign. Usually Phil is like, Becky, don't bother to tell anybody that you're gonna sign the thing because like it creates more logistical hassle later. Look at the logistical hassle he just did.
For a prize though, for the first time that you're giving away the prize, it's a big deal.
The first one next week. The person who wins next week will get a signed copy of my book.
I have just manufactured scarcity. Marketing. Okay, let's go.
Only if you ask really good questions.
Okay, hi Becky. Have you found any ways to hide the dip package ICs in any of your wearables? Any good ways to secure them comfortably yet conspicuously in something like the sleeve or something spandexy? First up, what does IC stand for?
IC stands for integrated circuit, and you can watch a Collins Lab video about it. I think he did it on Make a while back. It's just a circuit that's shrunken down into a package. So like a 555 timer is an IC, an Atmega 328 is an IC, and he means dip package, which is this shape, the one with the legs on it, not a surface mount one.
What do they do?
You first of all, don't do this. Yeah, don't do it. Like, why? Why don't you just like make a flex PCB circuit? That's what I would do. I would make a flex PCB circuit and put it on your stretchy thing. Stretchy electronics is like not a good time right now. You're not gonna have like a good time making your own stretchy electronics. That said, if you really still want to make stretchy electronics, this product is the thing to use. It is the plug-and-wear textile perf board, and it's like a knit product, so that means it's a little stretchy, with tin-plated copper wires on like every other row.
Yeah.
The fire alarm went off during our show last week too.
Well, it's not a fire alarm going off.
It's not the fire alarm going off. It's a ground fault in the sensing system. Thanks. And you can solder to this fabric, and you can see here that there's a picture of a solder. This is from the Plug and Wear website. They're the Italian textile manufacturer that we get the textile potentiometers from. And you can make a textile circuit, like you can see there, with a dip package IC. I just don't know why you would want to do that versus like soldering onto a piece of flex PCB or like using a Flora, or just like soldering free soldering wires and then sewing the wired circuit to your stretchy fabric with lots of strain relief. I don't think you're in for a good time with your stretchy dip package IC circuit.
Fire Marshal Phil agrees. Let me tell you something.
Fire Marshal Phil.
Let me tell you something. We're moving on. I want to build an LED name tag, but I can't seem to find the right display at the Adafruit store. What do you recommend if I were to use a Trinket Pro as the brains?
I don't feel bad about this because ThinkGeek is out of stock of this product, so to tell people how to make their own, I mean, whatever. I never
actually bought one of these from ThinkGeek like a billion years ago.
It's cool. It's a scrolls your name. Well, guess what? We have a breakout board for 2 of the square I2C matrix. We have like a backpack for 2 of them at once, which does pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Next up. Hi, Becky. Love the show. All at Adafruit are doing a great service for humanity. Thank you. We actually think about that every day. This is why we do it. My wife is planning a project and planning to use fabric that is metallic look paint pattern, so she should be concerned about shorts due to the fabric. That's a question. Have you ever run into a problem with this? I'm also planning to make an ampli tie. I saw a tie online with a circuit pattern with silver traces and have the same concern. Thanks.
All right, Jeff and Teresa. You should use a multimeter with its continuity setting. If you don't know what that is, you can check out the Adafruit tutorial about using a multimeter. And check and see if it's conductive. My guess is not. Usually paint, silver-colored paint that's silk screened onto fabric is usually not conductive because even if it does have metal in it, it usually has so much acrylic in it that, which is just plastic, that it's insulating any of the actual metal. And a lot of times it's not even metal, it's just a metallic sort of look material. So check with your multimeter. Phil had a good idea when we talked about this question of making a vlog from the fabric store, because I have gone to the fabric store with the multimeter to check, because sometimes like sparkly fabric is conductive and that's cool and you can use it as sensors and stuff. So I'd go to the fabric store looking for fabric that just happened to be conductive, but you can use it vice versa too to make sure that it's not. I'm gonna guess that you're probably okay with your silk screened tie and your other thing. It's when there's like metallic fibers that are woven in and it's like one direction is shiny and one direction is matte. That's when like it's like more likely that it's got some tinsel and it's like actually metal.
I want a Becky on the scene selfie. Here I am at the craft store. Look at me with my multimeter.
Yeah, maybe I don't shop in person very often anymore because standing and like lines and the garment district is.
Yeah, but besides that, I'm sure it's great.
When I was in grad school in Arizona, and I would go to the Joann's, the big Joann's fabric, I would bring my multimeter, and you can get lost in the fabric section.
Yeah.
I think you can get lost in. I could go to Mood. That's where I should go. I should go to Mood.
Okay, go to Mood.
It's like I don't need to give Michaels any free publicity.
That's right. We're going to Mood.
And somehow I really still like Project Runway, so I don't.
Okay. Mood, we're gonna see you soon. Hi Becky, for my final degree project, I'm working on an Arduino-based smartband with a GPS that will send location data to an Android phone using Bluetooth and log it to a server, something similar to Strava.com. For the smartband, I started to do a big prototype with an Arduino, Uno, and serial SPP-based Bluetooth. Now I want to make it small, so I will use a Flora, but I'm not sure what Bluetooth to use, as I already have code working with SPP, and it works below Android 4.3. I was thinking to use the Bluetooth EasyLink. In terms of battery, BLE seems to be the best options. Any suggestions? The new Flora Bluetooth module that is coming, will it be BLE or SPP? Thanks in advance. Okay.
I'm going to recommend that you try our BLE module. We're up to Android 4.5 now, so and BLE is kind of flaky in 4.3. It's more stable in 4.4 and pretty stable in 4.5.
4.6 is going to be awesome.
I don't even know what 4.6 is, but I'm going to recommend you make the switch to BLE because because we just released our Adafruit BLE app for Android.
Yeah.
So you can find that in the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
And you can use that with this NRF module, the BLE, the Bluefruit BLE module we have in the store. But if you already have something working with the EasyLink, I mean, you could try that too. However, the new Flora Bluetooth module will be a BLE. It's basically it's very similar to the Nordic chip. It's just it's round and sewable and going to work with the pinout.
Okay. That's the other big news.
Flora.
Play.google.com, type in Adafruit, and you will see our Android app. Now, here's the thing, Android folks.
Yes.
Say, hey, that's great. Thanks for investing the time and resources into Android. Don't say finally or took you too long or whatever. It's very complicated doing Android stuff.
It's really hard, guys.
And so we did iOS first for some of our applications. We are getting to Android, but if everyone's going to be kind of jerky about it,
don't be a jerk.
I'm just going to do Windows.
Be that guy.
I'm just going to do Windows Mobile or BlackBerry.
Don't be that guy. All right, here, look, I found it. Adafruit BLE Connect in the Play Store. I have. Can I update mine? I had the dev version. It says I already have it installed because I do, but
I don't know what happens when you have a dev version.
I don't need to delete the dev version and install it. Anyway, you can
uninstall
it.
Then you can install it. That's what you could do.
It's cool. It's got. I mean, like I'm really happy because I've always been Android centric, and this is going to make it really a lot easier for me personally to be developing our Bluetooth wearables because when I borrow the work iPhone, it like changes the way that mentality of how I'm working because it doesn't feel like my phone.
It's not.
Also, do you know how many Adafruit iPhones I've broken?
3.
At least one.
Oh, I just guessed 3.
So like I don't know it.
Okay.
It's cool, and you can do it with Android 4.5 or 4.4. But if you are stuck on Android 4.3, try to use the EasyLink. You can use the EasyLink with Flora. You could also use the EasyLink, and if you wanted to go even smaller, you could use the EasyLink with the Pro Trinket or the, what's it called? The Arduino Micro.
Okay. Lots of talking. Need some giveaway in.
Oh, right. Okay. Everybody who asked a question has been entered to win today's giveaway, including the Project Workshop participants. So if you would like to participate in our brand new Project Workshop segment, which gets you some one-on-one mentor attention with me during the show, just lay out what your question is in a long comment, and I'll put it in the segment. It's just a longer comment that gets more attention. And you'll go in the giveaway, too. So don't be worried about asking a short question versus a long question. You are all entered. So there's 5 people in the giveaway today. 4 questions and 1 project workshop, just to clarify. It's very fair and random. Totally random based on me picking one of them out of this hat. Today's Flora winner is Ian, who wants to build an LED name tag.
Oh, okay, that's
Congratulations. You have won a Flora.
You could use that to make that LED.
For sure. It's totally compatible with our LED Matrix backpacks.
With names and tags, too.
Ian, I encourage you to email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize. I'll also reach out to you on what looks to be Google+.
Okay. Just a reminder, 10% off bow tie expires 11:59 p.m. Apparently there's a cat, there was a bag, mistakes were made. Everything's okay now.
There's no, it was just a figure of speech. If you are lucky, maybe I haven't checked, maybe they're all sold out already. There might be a couple more copies of my book left in the store. No, you can't have this one.
Yeah.
This one is mine. If you can't pick it up there and you need it right away, you can get it from Maker Shed or Amazon. It's available for Kindle.
Okay.
Although the photos are in color here,
Yeah, so we still,
unless you've got a Kindle Fire, you're missing out on the color.
I guess we got more in because we have. I thought we were out of stock, but I think we got more in.
Okay,
So,
that's great news.
Yeah, so you can get it today.
Because we can do that thing that I need to do
Yeah.
later with like 24 of them.
No, I know it's gonna happen. I've seen this movie. Okay, all right, that's the show, everybody. Tonight, Show and Tell, Ask an Engineer.
Yeah, if you have projects you want to show them off on the Show and Tell on Google Plus, and Ask an Engineer is right after that with Mrs. Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada, and then tomorrow, don't miss the 3D Hangout with Noe and Pedro.
Okay.
They're going to be talking more, I'm sure, about their experiments with the new Ember machine and such. They also have a new video to debut and all good 3D printing things.
Okay.
We have next week's project is a collaboration between me and Noe, and it's 3D printing wearable project.
Okay. All right, that's it and more. Excellent show. And once again, Becky, congratulations on the book.
Hey, thanks.
That's right.
There's something on your face.
Yeah, I know. There's a book. There's a book.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back next week with more wearable electronics.
Book.